Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Insane Gorilla. I'm actually back. For once. Finally. Now, as you guys probably wondering, why is there an image of a guy holding a sword? I just randomly found this, so whenever you see this, I'm actually going to talk to you guys personally at the beginning of my videos. And whoever drew this picture, all credit goes to you, mate. Or friend, or you know what I mean. To answer somebody's question quickly about Deku, why does he have green hair? In what if Deku was a saiyan? Go watch Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. You'll quickly understand that this is something not really new because there's Trunks, Vegeta's son, and he has got a different hair color. So why not have green hair? And considering Deku and who his parents are, they are both both Saiyans themselves, and that's also why Deku has a tail. But as I also explained in one of my other videos, he doesn't like showing it because he's not comfortable showing it. But anyway, I hope you do enjoy this video, and let's get this show on the road, shall we? So where we last left off, All Might, the female version of All Might, spoke to Midoriya about about some random stuff. As well, they eventually walk away from each other. Deku goes home, meets his mother and father, as they both sort of say, "And where the hell have you been?" As he just says, "Well, I was stopped by a guy with wings called Hawks, a pro hero, and then I got stopped by All Might." So I've had a bit of an eventful day. As his parents just sigh, as they both just say, "Yeah, your sister has already told us about you saving a girl with 9 tails." So yeah, your sister's already told us. Anyway, go up to your room, go and sort it out. We're going to be moving house in a few weeks, so get your stuff ready. As he just bows, saying, "Yes, father. Yes, mother." As he runs up to his room and starts packing all of his stuff. As they actually do move house a few weeks later to a bigger house, 2-story building. So there's room for him, Izumi, and their parents. And it's right next to Dagobah Beach. So Izuku actually walks to the beach, wearing the attire he's got on. Obviously a belt covering his tail. As he goes there and trains. He trains in martial arts like karate, kickboxing, and just different martial arts styles, trying to find which one he's comfortable with. As well, he takes off his green t-shirt and, well, just throws it to the side. As well, he sort of powers himself up. As, well, because Dagobah Beach is actually still littered with trash, he starts moving trash himself, sort of like cleaning it up. As well, he throws a few punches here and there, and then does a few karate chops, then kickboxing, like kick. I think it's kick, just normal kickboxing where you just aim for people's heads or chest areas. Areas. I'm not much. I don't know much about kickboxing, so let me know down in the comments below if I was way out. Wouldn't be surprised if I was. Oh, as he does that for a few hours, there's a girl who, funnily enough, we've met before. Well, he's met before. Turns up, and she sort of cleans up the beach herself, and she sort of hears grunting and groaning, and she sort of just walks over to see Izuku and to see the rippage of a six pack and all the muscle a woman could dream of seeing in a guy. I know not all women are like that. It's just a figure of speech. As her face goes bright red, as he continues cleaning up the beach and doing some more like exercises and training and all that, all this out and the other. She accidentally tips something over as it smacks the ground, forcing him to turn at a very quick speed, making him trip over his own shoes. As he sort of falls onto the ground, and she sort of like says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. No, no, I didn't want to make you jump like that." And she sort of just stutters over her words, while still having a very red face. As Deku just punches the ground as he gets up, as he just then grabs his t-shirt, holds it for a bit, looks up at her, then puts it on. As she says, I hope you're not angry at me. I, I just got concerned about who was over here." As Deku just looks at her coldly, saying, "What do you want? This is the second time we've met. If I've got to put up with you following me all over the place, then this is going to be one very annoying year for me. So buzz off. You're weak. If you wanna fight me, girl, just to let you know, you're so weak. I could just power up ever so slightly, and I'll blow you away with one flick of a wrist. So don't try anything." As she just stands there shaking, saying, I wasn't here for a fight. I was here to talk to you." As she continues to stutter, as they hear, "Oi, nerd!" As Bakugo and Toga turn up again. Not in their school UA uniforms, just normal stuff. As they say, well, as Toga sort of says, "Looks like he's getting a girlfriend," or scaring somebody off. As Bakugo just retorts, saying, "Scaring somebody off by the looks of it. She looks like she's about to fall onto the floor." "Where's your sister? You two usually train all the time anyway." Zumi's just unpacking all of her stuff from moving house. We're not too far away now. As Bakugo just says, "Oh, so that's why your place was empty and getting sold off to somebody else. Okay, that explains why you disappeared a week ago." Just thought I'll come down to the beach and train a bit, but it looks like you're already here. Is he just Toga's just sort of walks up to the girl with brown hair and says, "You might want to leave. I've seen him train and it's not pretty. Especially with his sister. Those two can make craters the size of a city block if they wanted to. So I suggest you leave." As she looks over to Bakugo saying, "I'm going to get some ice cream. Coming?" As he just says, "Nah, I'm good." As he just says, "Why don't you take Izuku's lady friend with you? I need to have a word with him." As she just says, "Okay then, come on, let's go." As she just sort of drags her along, as she sort of says, "Hey, I can walk on my own." Bakugo just says, "Now that we're on our own, do you want to go to the arcades next, 2 months from now, after we enter UA? Because, hey, you never know, we both might not be in the same class." Deki just says, "Nah, I prefer to train. Besides, aren't you still trying to get with my sister?" Bakugo just says no. For a few reasons. One, she may kill him. And two, she hates his guts. For the things he constantly tries to do in schools all the time. Going back to when they were 10. Deku just says, "Look, if she hated you, she would have aimed a lot higher than your balls at the minute. She could have hit you smack in the head." Well, Bakugo just turns around and says, "Look, head would kill me instantly because she's got enough strength to do that. The balls just make sure I don't have any kids, okay? Every time I'm near her, I always have to make sure I've got protection over them just in case she decides to hit me there. And besides, that girl's been following you for the last few days. Like, what did you do to her to make her follow you so much?" Deki just says, "Oh, I don't know. Don't care at this point. She's just becoming an absolute nuisance. Could use someone to scare her off. But no offense to you, Bakugo, you ain't terrifying." Pardon me? But seeing a guy who's ripped all the high hell like myself have a significant power boost, then threaten to flick him away with a flick of the wrist, and most probably send him to the moon, yeah, I don't think you want to stick around for very long. As Bakugo sort of retorts, saying, "Yeah, didn't you really notice that girl's bright, bright red face?" As Deku says, "Yeah, I noticed. That's why I threatened her, because I want to get her away. You know, out of everybody, Bakugo, that I hate it when girls think they're being so sneaky to look at a boy's abs. As Bakugo just sighs, saying, "Come on, God, come on, man, look at her. She must probably turn up and immediately start staring at your abs again. Because no offense, that T-shirt does not bloody hide them." Yes, Deku just looks at himself, saying, "Come on, Bakugo. Do you seriously want to start this right now? How about this? You start getting abs on yourself, and perhaps my sister would stop punching you in the nuts. Or hell, kicking you in the balls. Start working out more. You may get her attention. Because I know that's what you're still trying to do. So don't bullshit me with me giving a girl an easier time. No. Besides, I can tell when people like me and when they don't. She just has nothing but questions. Her aura is all over the place. Unrefined and undisciplined. Just like you. As Bakugo says, "What the hell did you call me? Undisciplined?" I ain't a child. As Deku just snaps at him, saying, "Yeah, you're a child because you definitely act like one. Act like one. Just on the slightest hints of truth. Seriously, Bakugo, sort yourself out. Your sister, Toga, has more sense in her brain than you. Her quirk is to stab people and take their blood to turn into them to fight them. If that isn't a villain quirk, I don't know what is." As Bakugo just says, "Lucky for you, lucky for any of us, she actually wants to go to a hair and beauty course. Because she's obsessed with her hair and beauty now. Teenage girls, hey?" As Toga overheard that, and after coming back with some ice cream for them both, saying, "Do you seriously want to repeat that?" As Deku just sort of sniggers and laughs, saying, "You walked yourself into this one, Bakugo. I ain't helping." As she just passes the ice cream to each of them, as, well, the same girl walks behind, again with her own. As Deku just says, "Right, I'm now off, because I've got to get home and sort some stuff out." As he just walked off. And a few weeks after 10 months, the UA exams happen. Deku walks in with Azumi. They do the written exam after listening, well, to the rules by Principal Nezu. Deku, being smart, picks up on the mistakes Principal Nezu did on purpose, and, well, doesn't correct them. He writes on the back saying, "I noticed that you purposely made mistakes. That may fool a lot of other people, but it doesn't fool me. Nice try." As, well, Principal Nezu just says, "Interesting. Very interesting. Not only did this one realize that I purposely made mistakes, but I also made sure it was blindingly obvious that I purposely did it. He may be right. A lot of other people may not have picked up on it." As well, he looks up on who it was, as it says Izuku Midoriya. Quirk unknown. As Principal Nezu just says, huh. Unknown, huh? We'll see about that. As he just scrolls through other people's. Well, other people's notes, seeing Izumi Midoriya. Quirk, super strength, and flight, which catches his attention. As he says, huh, so she's got two quirks. Just like that Todoroki fella. Shoto Todoroki. Huh. How interesting. Now, I wonder who All Might actually picked for All for One. No, for One for All. As he just scrolls through them, as he just only sees one person who All Might may have given her quirk off to. Let us just hope, this is what Principal Nezu says, let us just hope that he has picked him and not anybody else. As well, President Mike gets on the mic, like he does, and goes through the robots, missing out the 0 pointer as, again, Tenya Ida stands up saying, you only explained 3 of them, not the 4th one. This is a disgrace to UA for being such a prominent school. As, well, everybody just listens to him ramble. As President Mike just uses quirk saying, shut up and let me finish. The 0 pointer is there for you to avoid. It's an obstacle. Don't fight it. If you see it, avoid it. And as that ends, they all get the numbers of where they are. Bakugo gets his number, well, his letter, and Deku gets his own. And Izumi actually ends up with Bakugo. For plot reasons. As well. They all get out. Deku notices the same girl he had met 10 months ago. As he gets slightly irritated, as he just says in his own head, great. I have to deal with Mrs. Stalker over there. Wonder how many times she's going to be staring at my abs again. Because through those 10 months, he bumped into her a few times, and she still looked straight at his abs. As President Mike just opens the door, as everybody just stands there, apart from Deku, because he realises that there's no 3-2-1s in a real fight. As he just sort of runs up quite quickly, which takes everybody by surprise, as President Mike says, what are you all standing there for? Follow that kid, there's no countdowns in a real fight. So go, go, go. As everybody rushes towards the entrance, as Deku gets in, Ida soon overtakes him, destroying the first 2 robots that he could see. Deku, taking his time, fights robots that he can see, destroying them with relative ease. Being a bit like Jiren, where he just uses one finger to block all their punches, which catches everybody by surprise, including Principal Nezu, who then thinks that he has a strength enhancement quirk. But then he notices the belt. And he notices that there's something moving within that belt. As he then says, "Oh, mate, did you notice that child's belt that he's got on?" As All Might then looks at it, and she just says, "Honestly, I noticed that before. That's the same belt he was wearing when I first met him. I think he went to a class with martial arts class with Bardock, the famous martial artist, and his son Goku. And I think his eldest son Raditz, who also worked at the same school that Izuku went to. Well, that's the name of the boy, now that I know. There's, well, President Mike looks over to them, saying, Principal Nezu, I take it you noticed the movement within the belt of that child. As Principal Nezu just says, yes. As eventually Shoto Aizawa speaks up, saying, it's obvious that he wants it to be hidden. Whatever is underneath that belt, he doesn't want anybody else to see. He may be too ashamed of showing it. Or not. I'm not sure. But I noticed in his behaviour when somebody tried to pointed at the belt, he got very offensive. Or very defensive about it. And very aggressive. Whatever is underneath that belt, he does not want people to see or find out. Being afraid of people laughing at him. Or he just doesn't want people to know about it. It's all up to him to see what he does. But this kid, he's strong. His quirk is unknown, so it might have something to do with whatever is underneath that belt. So when he's in my class, he's not going to be wearing a belt. He's going to be showing whatever he's hiding underneath that belt on display for everybody to see. No exceptions. As All Might just says, Aizawa, don't push the kid. He may be more stronger in will than you and I combined. Possibly, maybe. I'm not sure. But I do know the kid's strength. I saw him and I think it's Izumi Midoriya, his sister. I watched them both have a sparring match and they were making shockwaves. Much more denser than mine when I use One for All. As Principal Nezu just says, it's possible that he has something similar to his sister. Two quirks. Izumi Midoriya, quirks, flight and strength. Could be flight and strength for him as well. I don't know. But let's see what he does now. As All Might says, Principal Nezu, are you going to press that button? The big red one? He just says, yes. As he presses it, as he also says, it's all a test to see what he will do. I'm surprised. That may not be very welcome. As we go back to Midoriya, as he continues wrecking robots, left, right, and centre, he helps out a few others with their robots. As he feels the ground rumble, as he just destroys another robot, as he sees a whole... Hang on a minute, guys. I will be back. So, where was I? Ah, yes. He feels the ground rumble as as a lot of people run away, saying, "Run, it's the 0 pointer." As Deku hears a girl scream for help, as he, runs to the scream. As he arrives, he sees that it's the same stalking girl. As he just says, "Oh, for Christ's sake, really? Of all people I have to come and rescue, it's your useless ass." As she just says, "Help me get this stuff off. Quickly. 0 pointer may not stop." As he looks up to see the 0 pointer, as he says, "Seriously? That thing? You're scared of that? Jesus Christ, I've only been hitting things with one finger around here. All I've been doing is just literally poking the damn things, and they've been falling apart. That I can literally just flick and it would be destroyed. So there's nothing really to worry about." As she says, "Just help me get this off." As Dicky just says, "Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. You want to be strong? Get it off yourself." As he just walks off. Straight up to the 0 pointer as she says, "Get back here. It's not for us to destroy, it's for us all to avoid." As Principal Nezu says, "Here we go. Now for our little test." As he presses another button, as the 0 pointer then looks down, stops, looks down, then throws its fist to the floor. As she sort of screams, saying, "Get out of there, now! That thing is going to crush you." As as everybody hears a massive boom. As the girl just sort of says, "Never thought UA would do this. This is one cruel lesson today." And she hears a voice saying, "What the hell are you worrying about?" As she looks up to see him, Izuku just standing there with his arms crossed, which catches everybody in the lookout box, as Principal Nezu is astonished, All Might is flabbergasted, President Mike, Cementos, who I forgot was there, all the other teachers, saw this one kid get crushed, but all of a sudden appear back at his original location. As All Might just says, "Now that is scary. I know I'm not one for fear, but if I was ever facing a guy who could do that, just appeared to be crushed, then all of a sudden you look behind you and he's standing there without a scratch, I would be pissing myself. Because that would be terrifying." As Aizawa just perks up, saying, "It looks like he used some sort of technique. It could be that he used a teleportation quirk or Sorry guys, I was yawning in the middle of that. Could be that he was using a teleportation quirk, or it's a part of his quirk to prevent him from taking any sort of damage, like a defense mechanism or something like that. As President Mike sort of says, well, dudes, this is going to be one fun year. That kid already passes in my book. If he can dodge a punch from a 0-pointer at point blank range, then you can dodge a bullet in real time. Or something like that. As President Mike continues to smile, along with everybody else, Cementos just says, now I've got to repair the floor in that place. Great. And half the buildings. But what is he going to do with that girl? He needs to get her out. As they just watch Izuku just walk over her and go back to the 0-pointer. As they realise that he's not actually helping her, he's leaving her behind. As they actually turn up the volume to hear what he says, as he says, real strength comes from your own inner strength. Look within yourself and you'll find that there's more strength within your own body than you actually see on the outside. You're strong, but you're weak because you refuse to see your own strength. A warrior never, ever admits defeat against such a weak opponent. Juve needs to step up his game if they're ever going to deal with true villains that have true power. I can deal with any villain because I've got the most power. My sister can do it too because we both have the strength, will, and resolve to break anything within our way. As the 0-pointer throws another punch, Deku just throws his own. As both fists collide, everybody thinking that'll be the end of Izuku, as they just see the 0-pointer's arm break and fall apart. As all the teachers sit there in amazement that one punch did so much damage. As Deku just continues walking up, the 0-pointer throws his other fist, as Deku just breaks that one as well. As he just then jumps up, straight up to the 0-pointer's face, and says, "Get lost, weakling." As he just smashes it in the face, like he does in canon, but doesn't force it to tip over, he just forces it to literally stop where it was and just collapse. Him landing on his feet as the 0-pointer comes crashing down into one little not so neat scrap pile. As the girl manages to get herself out from underneath all the rubble, as she literally starts hopping her way back to the entrance. As President Mike says, and the exam is over. I don't think anybody was expecting this, folks, but one kid took on the 0-pointer by himself and literally made it fall apart. Be glad this guy's on your side. And that's where I'm leaving it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. See you all in the next one. And sorry for me pausing over and over again. But hey, peace.